YouTube, what's going on? Welcome to the latest episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. As always, a quick thank you for taking some time out of your day to check out the latest video, and hell yeah, for being the best damn community here on YouTube, without a doubt. So today's video, I want to talk about, is stacking silver and gold really a good idea? I'm going to give you some numbers that pertain to the United States and what we're clueless about in the majority and why stackers are in the minority. And make sure you stay tuned about 3/4 of the way through. I'm going to go over one of the most controversial topics in our community today. It's always a doozy and it always brings up differing opinions. So make sure you stay as far as that goes. You'll definitely want to see that. All that being said, take it away, Mr. Bundy.
Let's rock.
So let me set up the subject of this video with some numbers, and then we're going to get in the meat of it. According to a recent survey, the numbers from a small sample size of Americans show that approximately 10.8% of Americans own gold, with the average American household owning about 6.4 ounces of the yellow metal. Now, that's pretty high. I guarantee you that wouldn't be the average in any household, but they're taking into consideration some big holders of gold. Now, as for silver, the survey estimated 11.6% of Americans are holding the good old shiny white metal. Now, here's where the flaws take place in this survey, which means, yeah, you kind of take it with a grain of salt. Number one, it was a small sample size of only 1,500 respondents, which means it's not even remotely accurate, but more of an estimate of the numbers of Americans holding metals. Number two, the poll was taking into consideration all forms of metals, and that included physical, jewelry, electronic instruments like silver and gold ETFs. And ETFs, as we all know, for silver have a ratio of anywhere from 250 to 390 paper shares to each 1 ounce of physical silver. No one can seem to decide on the actual number, but regardless, it throws the true numbers of physical silver way out of whack. And that number is blowing the entire ratio of available silver just conveniently out of proportion. So the poll is definitely skewed with inaccurate data if it's including anything but physical metals. Number three, most stackers holding metals keep their numbers confidential, which means an accurate count is pretty much impossible, even with more widespread polls with a bigger sample size. And lastly, number four, the numbers include casual holders of precious metals, so it isn't solely based on serious stackers. So now that we know the previous survey used a baseline of information that was just a little bit too broad, let's take a look at another one that zeroed in specifically on Americans owning actual physical metals that didn't include jewelry, ETFs, and all that other gabagool. We're strictly talking bullion. Now, this poll also used a mean of 1,500 respondents, and, well, the results pretty much speak for themselves. You just have to remember that this is such a small sample size when it all comes down to it, so you have to kind of take these results with a grain of salt. But these numbers would likely be the same if you increase the number of respondents. Now, let's take a look. They asked if you owned either silver or gold. 82.4% own neither. 9.1 said they owned both gold and silver. And 5.6% said they owned some silver, no gold. And 2.9 said they owned some gold, no silver. Now, at this point, you're probably wondering where all of this stuff ties in. Where are you going with this? How's this pertaining to the title of the video? Well, the numbers I've just gone over are going to come into play here in just a minute. But in the meantime, let's touch on the pluses and minuses of stacking precious metals so we can see if it's a good idea or not. We're going to start with the pluses. Number one, it's a savings account that beats a failing dollar, and it acts as a preservation of wealth. The dollar fails more and more by the year. Purchasing power just continues to go down. Number two, it's harder to spend, which keeps it safely tucked away for most of us. It's not like you have a debit card for your metals where you just go, hip, pop it out, there you go. I'm down 10 ounces. It's not that easy. Number three, metals offer great portfolio diversification as long as you don't let them dominate it. We've talked about this a lot. Number four, liquidity for metals is top-notch since you can sell them just about anywhere. Number five, you physically own your metals, which gives you full control of the wealth intrinsic to your holdings. And number six, come on. It's satisfying and fun. Let's face reality. Think about all the other crap you could be blowing your money on that would never give you a return. All right, let's go over some of the negatives of stacking metals. Answer, there are none. No, I'm kidding. We all love them. But number one, they don't generate income like the dividends and interest you could get back from a stock, right? While you're holding them, they don't contribute to your wealth until you sell them off, and hopefully your DCA is way under what your sale price was, and the inflation hasn't killed the dollar to the point where you break even or make less. But that makes metals a long hold, which is something the majority of the population doesn't want to tie their money into. Number 2, poor long-term returns. Again, over the long run, stocks have consistently outperformed silver and gold, providing better returns and growth potential. It's just the reality of it. Number 3, limited practical use. Oh, yeah. In the event currency collapses, there is no present-day proof of how metals could take over as a means of exchange. Don't give me the Venezuela thing where they're exchanging gold for haircuts. Do a little bit of research on that. Apparently, it didn't go the way it's been purported. So you gotta take it with a grain of salt. Now, these are the main concerns with stacking metals. Okay, they're pretty basic. But I do have a reason that'll trump all 3 of those negatives, and that is, don't make precious metals your primary investment tool. You can't do it. They should only be a fifth or at best a fourth of your overall portfolio at best. If you're getting too heavy in metals and not investing in other retirement tools, you might want to reconsider and reallocate. Throwing the precious metals Hail Mary as you're coming up on retirement isn't going to be the answer. So taking all the numbers, advantages, and disadvantages that I've shown you here, you can make your own decisions to stack or not to stack and how deeply you should dive into it. You guys all know your own finances best. You know it better than anybody else. So be sure to use any and all knowledge that you can and all the knowledge that you can find to make a diligent decision. So let's finally tie in those numbers I gave you earlier and close this video out with some controversy. Yeah, we all love us some controversy, right? But this subject is hotly debated throughout the community, and that is, would precious metals be a good means of barter if the economy and the dollar tanked? Now, most of you who know me know that I lean toward metals not being an instant fix because of the numbers we just ran. You remember them. Once you factor in all of those stats, it's likely that less than 1 to 5% of the U.S. is considered an active stacker. You saw the 84% who didn't own a single ounce of anything, right? It's probably higher than that. That means that the majority of the population is clueless when it comes to metals and their intrinsic value. And that translates into something along the lines of, let's say you offering them some 90% silver dimes and an SHTF to trade for something, or those insanely silly, overpriced prepper packs with the tiny little silver bars that could be aluminum for all they know. If you offer these up to 95% or more of the population in a time of need, they're probably going to look at you like you're nuts. And because these folks most likely aren't prepared for an SHTF like stackers are, most of us, it's highly unlikely that they're going to give up anything of value for your funky looking silver and gold. They don't know anything about it, and they can't even prove it's real, nor can you. So my stance is that metals would be better suited for the recovery stage and not in the immediate aftermath. It's going to take some time for things to transition and for people to come to an agreement on what holds value and what doesn't if the dollar is kaput. Now again, look, this is strictly my opinion and it might not agree with yours, and that's fine. It's okay. But be sure to leave a comment on what you think metals, how they would fare in the event of a fiat failure or SHTF in general. All right. There you have it, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Now, again, we don't know how people would react in an SHTF because we haven't been there yet. We do know the value of stacking metals and not stacking metals. We also know not to make it the majority of our portfolio. We have to keep that in mind. So I think in a nutshell, stacking is healthy as long as you keep it within reason. And there's no reason you should not have metals in your portfolio, bottom line. They've done well for me. Even just silver alone has just held its value and gone up. My DCA is in the very low 20s, so I'm sitting pretty good. Depending on how long I hold, will decide how much value the dollar's lost in that time. So you have to play a game. It's all a game. You got to keep an eye on everything. But hey, what do you guys think? Do you guys think silver and gold would be an immediate answer in an SHTF? You think it would happen immediately, or would it take some time? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. So be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know. You guys know I love going through them, so make sure you sound off. And that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. And if you made it this far, well, hell, I'm as shocked as you are. judging by the attention span we get on YouTube. I'll definitely catch up with you in the next episode. But in the meantime, ooh, yeah, you know what's up.
What do you want to do with your life?
I want to stack.
Damn right. Get stacked. Stay safe and be well, everyone. And as always, be sure to catch me in my silver journey this Wednesday at 8:30 for Stacker's Corner. We have a blast. We give away silver prizes. We talk some metals, talk some shop, do some trivia. It's a blast. You got to come and see us. If you need a link, just look under my post. But until then, I am out of here. Peace, folks. Have a great week ahead. Be safe. See you on Wednesday.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.